Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us in another episode of 5 Minutes in GI, the show where we ask a medical provider one of the most frequently asked questions about GI disorders, and they try to answer in just 5 minutes. I am your host, Alyssa Sutton, and I'm the program coordinator at the International Foundation for Gastrointestinal Disorders. Joining us today is Dr. Prashant Singh, one of IFFGD's junior academicians, as well as the recipient of IFFGD's 2024 Research Grant Award. Dr. Singh is an assistant professor of medicine at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Dr. Singh, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Absolutely, my pleasure, Alyssa. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So today's question is kind of a mouthful. So the FODMAP diet stands for different categories of foods. And so I was hoping you could tell us what each letter of the FODMAP diet represents and also what types of foods can fall under each group.
Absolutely. So the acronym FODMAP stands for fermentable oligosaccharide, disaccharide, monosaccharide, and polyols. That's what it stands for. And what we do in low FODMAP diet is we restrict food belonging to one or more of these categories, right? And we can go through these categories in order. As the oligosaccharides itself are, so the first word is fermentable because all of them are fermentable, meaning the bacteria can ferment them and convert them into gas and liquid, which causes distension of the colon, and that's what gives symptoms in our patients, right? So that's how reducing these fermentable saccharides helps with symptoms. So our first group in that is oligosaccharide. And oligosaccharide itself is of two types. It's fructooligosaccharides and galactooligosaccharides. So start with fructooligosaccharides, or which is commonly referred as fructans. It basically, it is present in a lot of food groups, but the main source comes from grains, which is basically wheat, rye, and barley. Are the main source of fructans, and then in vegetables it's onion and garlic. So they in total form the most of the fructan. Over 90% of the fructans we consume is from comes from these four or five things: garlic, onion, wheat, rye, and barley. Right. The second group of oligosaccharide is galacto-oligosaccharide, or in short, we call them galactans. And the main food groups in this is generally legumes and beans. And so, as you can imagine, almost all legumes and beans, which includes red beans, kidney beans, fava beans, chickpeas in high quantities, hummus, are all high in galacto-oligosaccharides. So they are the groups restricted. When we restrict galacto-oligosaccharides, those are the ones restricted here. And then there are some nuts, especially cashews and pistachios, which are also high in them. The third group is, the second letter is D, or disaccharide. And disaccharide in FODMAPs refers to lactose. And that's very easy. Lactose is present in cow milk and other milk products such as soft cheese like brie, ricotta, cottage, and anything that is derived from milk, right? Like ice cream and so on. The next letter is M, or monosaccharide, which is basically in the FODMAP world refers to fructose. So fructose in diet can come from lots of places again. And main sources, I would say, for fructose is things to watch for is ingredients with high fructose corn syrup, which is a common sweetener added to a lot of things because it's cheaper than sugar. So you will see it in cookies and pastries and even brownies. It can be added. So look out for that in the ingredient list as high fructose corn syrup. And then other groups of other source of fructose is obviously vegetables and fruits. Among fruits, things like mango, pear, grapes are all high in fructose. So those are where we restrict fruits in. Other big ones are apples as well. And then um, and then last group is polyols. So polyols are sugar alcohols, and these are present as sorbitol, mannitol, and are either present as artificial sweeteners in some of the artificial sweeteners, but also present in some of the vegetables and fruits. For example, mushrooms can have polyols, cauliflowers can have polyols, and celery can have polyols. So those are another good source of polyols or sugar alcohol will be vegetables, some of the vegetables, not all. So hopefully I've clarified what FODMAP stands for.
I know that the FODMAP diet, just from kind of talking to patients, is very restrictive. And even from what you said, those types of foods specifically are all the foods that I consume on a daily basis. And so I know that it might be hard for patients to be on the FODMAP diet.
Yes, meaning I think that is absolutely correct. From I think one of the surveys we did with IFFGD, actually our patients told us that a vast majority, I think I don't know the exact, I don't remember the exact number, but it's somewhere around 60-70% of our patients said that they definitely found it moderately to severely challenging to follow the elimination phase.
Yes. And I know that in another video, we're going to kind of talk about the different phases of the FODMAP diet. But I just want to say for patients, if you're watching this video and you are somebody that is trying or considering trying the FODMAP diet, it's so important that you discuss these dietary changes with a healthcare provider, such as either a registered GI dietitian or a gastroenterologist like Dr. Singh here today. This diet, like we just said, is very restrictive. They can help you assess those individual circumstances while also ensuring that your nutritional needs are being met. You can find a dietitian by using the QR code that we provided. And for more information on the FODMAP diet, if you're interested, you can always visit our website at www.ibs.org. That is all the time that we have for today. So please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, if you have a question after watching this video, please email us directly at iffgd@iffgd.org. And we're going to do our best to answer your question in another episode of 5 Minutes in GI.